Switch my mic over.
It's not. It's not going from the shirt. It's going from your laptop. Oops.
Why would that be?
I'll just go into StreamYard settings, like the little gear icon. There we go.
Why did that happen?
Oh, it sometimes does it. I have to do it for mine too. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's got a lot of nerve.
Yeah, the grass had a lot of nerve to grow today too, didn't it?
Oh man, it was so long. Some of the
bad.
lawns I've been working on, it was just very time consuming. Excuse me. And then I had a client that their patio was just, they had a paver patio. It was just covered in weeds. And
boy.
Yeah, and I texted him and I said, I can take care of that for you if you want. And I said, I can just hit it with my trimmer and
scalp it down.
Yeah, scalp it down. I said $25, and I said, then what you do after I'm done is you go in and you put baking soda, sweet baking soda, into all the crevices.
It works.
Yeah, it works. And then you mist it, lightly mist it, and then go back and mist it again until you don't see any more white on your patio. But I thought this was going to take me 20 minutes. I think it took me about 45. So that killed me too. Yeah. So it just took a long time. Some of the stuff was hard, was difficult. So.
How big were these weeds?
Oh, some of them were 1.5 feet tall.
Oh,
so
goodness.
the guy was.
How big was his patio again?
He was. Remember the lawn that we hit the sprinklers with the aerator?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was his patio. So,
trying to remember how big his patio was. It was a decent sized patio then. He had some weeds then. Holy smokes.
Yeah, it's not a huge patio. That's why I thought it was only going to take me about 20 minutes. But I had to hit it, and then I had to blow it off, and then I had to hit it again and blow it off. And
hit it again.
Yeah, and then some of the weeds were kind of tough, so I grabbed my shovel, my flat shovel, and I just kind of tried to scrape them a little bit.
Bad, man. You should have done the before and after picture, Greg.
I should have. So, but anyway, so he's gonna hit it with baking soda. I told him as soon as I get this done, hit it with baking soda, so that the stuff doesn't start sprouting up on him. So.
And then what did he say after you got done? Did he like it?
Oh, he wasn't home.
Oh, I wanted him to look at it and then tell you this.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
After Greg gets done cleaning up a patio. Wouldn't that be pretty funny if you're doing it'd be cool to lay down some stripes there at the White House, wouldn't it?
Oh, that would be pretty swell. I'd dig that.
That'd be fun. We should lobby that right into the White House. Hey, we got a podcast and we also have a lawn care business. Could we just come cut the White House grass once, just stripe it up? It'd be really good advertising for our business, wouldn't it?
Yeah, and then I'm sure they have a striping kit on their mowers.
I don't know. I think someone cuts it with a push mower.
No, not that whole lawn.
I don't know. Last I heard, it was or maybe a kid did it once for something, but yeah, it's a pretty big property, isn't it?
Yeah, it's not as big as everybody thinks it is, but it's still decent size. Let's see, what do they mow?
What do they mow?
White House lawn with?
I know they have a grounds crew there, but for some reason I was thinking that they weren't striping it with a big mower. It's just a smaller mower, and they probably mow it every 3 or 4 days at least. So I don't know.
Various professional maintenance lawn mowers, power mowers, weed whackers to keep the grounds neat and tidy. They have tall fescue grass,
Where's Kentucky Blue? Oh yeah.
which undergoes an annual turf renovation that includes dethatching, aerification. I never knew it was called aerification, followed by seeding and fertilization in the fall.
Oh really?
During World War I, the groundskeeper duties were outsourced by President Woodrow Wilson, who brought in a flock of sheep. Yes, brought in a flock of sheep to graze on the lawn.
We got Peter Virgil saying grasshopper mower since 2003, according to Google. Yeah, he looked it up about the White House. We got Raleigh Spencer there in the house too. Oh man, yee. Raleigh's probably out mowing right now, even though it's dark. He just put some headlights on his new Skag V-Ride 2. You know what? You could honestly do that if you got like some sort of high beam, like I don't know, some sort of light where it's really bright. Man, you could mow well into the night and just tick off people, Greg, couldn't you?
Yeah, your lights have to be low though; they can't be high. So they'd have to be lower on the mower. So because remember we talked about that once before when I had my headlamp on, and I thought, oh, it's dark out. I'll just throw this headlamp on. It felt like I was mowing in the snow because there was so much dust.
Oh yeah,
And so it was just lighting up all the dust.
So the title of the stream, we got some viewership here tonight. People must be thinking that I'm getting away from the lawn care business. I am, Greg. This upcoming week, we're getting out of town as a family. We're going to Sunset Beach, North Carolina. We do it every year. We went going a little bit later on this year, and grass is still growing. So I'll probably come back to some lawns, and then say this. What? So
yeah, you're gonna come back after what we've seen this week. You're probably
been
gonna
bad.
see some.
Yeah, I'm shaking my head.
Isn't there a hurricane going through North Carolina right now?
There he is, Aaron Fellows.
Aaron.
Hello,
Thanks
Aaron.
for joining us.
There's a hurricane kind of going through, but the weather said that hurricane was more in the Atlantic Ocean. It wasn't going to actually make landfall in North Carolina, but they did call for some evacuation. I think that was happening like right now because we leave to drive down on Friday. Only have 22 lawns left. The only reason why I'm even as fast, Greg, is because Drew. If Drew wasn't here, we'd both be in the same boat. I'd be more behind mine, but got 22 lawns for tomorrow, and then Lord willing, if the Lord wills, we'll leave Friday morning. We'll probably drive 6-7 hours and stop because my son's too nuts to drive all the way through. Normally I would, but trying to slow it down. You know me, I'm too go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Hurricane Aaron. It's not Hurricane Evan or Ed. So, Hurricane Aaron tracker, North Carolina under state of emergency. Beaches ban swimming. Hurricane Aaron is about to unleash the sea on the East Coast.
Should be Hurricane Sutter.
Aaron with an E, not Aaron.
It needs to be Hurricane Sutter, though. That'd be great.
Oh,
yeah. Well, luckily we don't have to deal with any hurricanes up here. I mean, not even the rain, Greg, but today, Aaron can probably attest to this. I assume he was near the Grand Rapids. It was just dreary today. They said it was 70. I don't believe, Greg, it was 70 degrees. It was a little chillier than that, wasn't it?
I was actually really comfortable, except I thought it was
comfy.
gonna. Yeah, it was nice to mow in, except that nothing dried. There was
no.
The lawns when I got to them and I'm checking them and I'm going, man, these are still wet, and they just went and it took forever for them to dry because there was no sun. So
this is the song that was playing while we were mowing, Greg. It's just incredibly tough. It's Millionaire tough, right? The 125,250K song. It's like, oh man, tough stuff.
Yeah.
It drizzled until about 1 p.m.
Aaron raid drizzled. Yeah, I had a couple of spits on me. I didn't. As I was getting out of the vehicle, it kind of spat on me as I was going somewhere. But
yeah, it did that to me too.
Yeah, but it never really, nothing ever really happened after that. So, but it just took a long time because they were so long. And,
yeah, that Bobcat, Greg, I tried. So the Bobcat ZS 4052, we've gotten a little chance to demo it. Actually, I really like the machine, 26 horsepower. But anything lower than 3.5, Greg, I see what you mean. It gets a little bit too low.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a weird drop from 3.5 to 3.25. Because I had my brother mowing a couple on 3.25, then I looked at it, and one of them I didn't say anything. I'm like, ooh, you cut that too low. Like that was like butchery low. But oh well, and we
Yeah.
go on next week, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, so that's I do like that mower though. I've been pleased with it. So, and I noticed that when it's at a different height than mine is when I adjust it, because I would put mine at 3.5, and mine is at three. My 61 at 3.5 is really probably about 3.25, and but I put the before I realized what was happening, I'd put the 52 at 3.5, and that was 3.5, and I'd come back the next
That's
week
good
and
height.
it'd be long. Yeah.
Yeah, there's with all these mowers though too. I talked about this with my buddy years ago. There's it like that. There's that optimum height. It's could be. I think mine's for the Multiforce about 3.25. 3 is a little bit too low. 3.25 or 3.5, where it's really that's where it stripes the best because you can have really good stripes if you cut high. Sure, I could cut everything on 4, Greg, and make the stripes pop, but I'd come next week and it would just be like a foot tall. No one wants that.
Yeah, there were a couple that today that I mowed. I'm looking at going, did I raise my deck last week on these? And because they were long, and when I got to them today, they were long, but I don't know. So it was just a long day. I'm technically, because of the rain yesterday, and because I hate mowing in the rain, I went out and trimmed, but I wound up trimming some of my Wednesday cuts, so I'm ahead for tomorrow.
Oh, there
But
you go.
I'm technically 1 day and 3 yards behind right now. So
Well, yesterday was kind of a wash there for a while, and it really didn't get sunny though either. I mean, it dried off a bit, but everything's staying moist. There's this one client I should have said something to. They must be on a well, and they've been prepaying 2 months in advance. So I'm not saying much, but I should probably tell them it's really just the front yard, Greg. I have to quadruple cut it every time, and it's regular irrigated lawn grass. There's no weeds there, but I should have told the guy. I'm like, I wanted to ask him, but didn't know if they're on a well. They're probably not, but I almost wanted to ask him, do you like your water bill? I had to quad. It's not a very big lawn, so it doesn't really waste that much time. But just the front, it's probably 5 passes in the front, and it's about, I don't know, 40 feet long, 5 passes deep, maybe 6 passes deep. So it's a lawn there on Gill Road. You know the 7 Mile and Gill Road area?
yeah,
Yeah. So it's like a little bit bigger than mine, but every time you have that one lawn where it's like they don't listen and they just keep watering it. I'm like, dude, I kind of were hoping that they would kill the grass, they would overwater it, but it hasn't worked out.
yeah. I've got one guy right now that he's I do some extra work for him, and if I go, like, I'll pull some weeds and some other stuff for him. He's the only one I do it for, but he's got one spot in his lawn, actually across the street from the guy that had that we hit his sprinkler lines. But this one spot between the curb and the sidewalk is just soaked. And so what I'm going to try and do when I get there to pull some weeds and stuff is say, look, let's turn on this zone because this is getting watered way too much. That's that's the one zone that gets too much. So, and I've asked him to lower it a couple times, but it's still too high. So
I think I've told this story before. I had this client, Greg, back in the day. Paid well. You guys ever have this client where they're a little bit condescending to you, but in the same breath they're nice and they pay on time and they don't really complain? Well, this is about, I don't know, 7, 8 years ago when I was more of a moron than I am now, and took on this lawn, got his lawn and his mother's lawn. They were both in a sweet spot where I wanted to mow. And he had made this passive comment. He goes, oh yeah, if you ever see like a weed pop up there in the garden bed, just pull it for me. I said, okay, whatever. Okay, a couple weeds popped up. He got mad. And he ended up saying, oh, you're doing bad work. And I told him his name is Paul. I said, Paul, I bid you on the lawn, not doing the leaves. And then he fired me, got someone else. But then a couple months later, he tried to hire me back. I just didn't reply. I'm like, nope. He's like, hey, can you come back and mow it? I'm like, yeah, no, find someone else.
no.
Yeah.
There's one lawn that I was mowing that I last year. I don't know if I'd mentioned this before or not, but I picked them up last year because he wasn't happy with his existing service, and then got through most of the year, and then he decided that I wasn't cutting it correctly, or at the right height.
Yeah, of course.
And wanted it higher, and so I raised my deck, and then but he still didn't like it, so he fired me, and then he got somebody else, fired them, got somebody else, and fired them, and then this year I saw a different guy there when I was, because I mow right next door.
That's funny.
And I saw these guys pulling up, and I said, "Did you guys just start mowing here?" And they said, "Yeah." And I said, "All right, just so you know, don't be upset." And they said, "Don't be upset about what?" I
That's
said, "When
funny.
you get fired," because I said last year he went through 4 lawn companies, and so I said, just don't be upset,
I
because
don't get it.
you probably won't last.
It's funny you say that. There's this other neighborhood near my parents. It's northwest, Greg. There's this guy. This is probably 14 years ago. My first, or it was second year in. I've been doing this 15 years. Okay, so 14 years ago. So my second year in, whatever, give or take. And this guy, he hired us. Didn't like what we did. Mowed for a couple months. Then my dad was with me, and then my dad talked to him, and we basically just yelled at him, and walked away. And then later on that year, he went through like 3 other services in 1 year. I mean, I don't know why guys are that particular about it. And he had a whole bunch of roots and uneven spots there in his yard. It's you don't want to mow for that client, period.
No, I'm suspect when if somebody calls me in the middle of the season, I'm pretty suspect, and
You're sus.
yeah, because I just figure there's something going on, and I ask them, do you have an existing service? Yes. If they call me in June, do you already have an existing service? And they if they say yes, I say, well, what's the problem? Before I even go out there,
Oh yeah.
and that way, and I'm trying to judge their conversation and where they're at, and you can kind of hear what they're not saying. How's that?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the way to put it.
Yeah, and then so I'll kind of judge them a little bit, and usually I'll go out, but I'm already kind of leaning toward probably not. So probably not going to take the lawn.
No, people like that, you don't want to even deal with that. You can, if they're shopping at mid-season, unless they're just giving up mowing, and then you're the first guy, take it. But Aaron was right here. This crabgrass, it was definitely out of control this week. It's nasty. And then that nutsedge. Now that I know what that is, I realize most of my lawns have crabgrass, Greg, nutsedge. But dude, I've really noticed. I've been paying more attention to lawns this year.
Mhm.
Man, people don't care about their beds at all. It's just full of weeds. And like even in the nice houses, people just don't really take the time to weed. I mean, okay, don't get me wrong. I got some classy lawns, but I would say majority of the clients they don't care. They're just like cut the lawn and get out of there. And then that's where you were smart and upsell that guy on that patio.
Yeah. Well, you know what else I just did too is and that's a one timer. And well, actually, I could probably do it. Depends what's going to happen. But like next season, beginning of the season, just kind of hit it, another $25. But what I did recently was I had one of my clients that had a bunch of weeds in their driveway, and we talked about that a few weeks ago. And they have a paver sidewalk, and I said $5, $5 a week.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll hit the weeds on your driveway and your pavers. And they just got back with me and said, yeah, go ahead and do it. So that first one is going to take the time, but after that, it usually goes
It's
pretty
maintenance.
quick.
Yeah, and that's a smart upsell. Question for you guys though too. There's some driveways where I'll just trim majority of my lawns. I don't really have many weeds in the cracks of the driveways, Greg, but there's some that I will trim just to make it look good, and then some that I don't because the client doesn't spray it. At that point, I'm just saying I'm not going to be trimming this every week if you're not going to spray it, even though they claim they're going to spray it. But maybe I'll take that tactic. Hey, I'll continue to do maintenance on this for an extra $5 because I could probably sell it on one of these ladies who prepaid, but I can still get her to pay me because there's part of her backyard near her garage. She claims, oh, I've tried to spray it and nothing kills it. I'm like, okay, well, if I scalped it down and you kept spraying it like once a week, it would never come back.
Yeah. So it's just kind of a matter of, and what the heck, if you can find a way to make a couple extra bucks, do it. So, that's, I was just trying to look something up here real quick. I apologize. Um, if I can find a way to make an extra $5 a week, why not? So, and that first one is where it's going to hit you. And after that, it's not going to be a whole lot of extra trimming. So, let me see, that bumped me. Let me see. We always talk about average price. So let's see what
Keep
that'll,
going.
I'm going to see what that'll do for me here in terms of my average price. And figure
We're
it
going to call a
out.
client live on air here right now, guys. You're going to like this one. Here, hold on. I had my brother mow this lawn with the Bobcat, and I went back over and I blew off all the front beds. I might have missed a section, but here, we're going to call her, okay?
I'm
right.
I'm up an extra 13 cents
There you go.
on my weekly average cut prices.
Oh, really?
So,
All right, hold the phone. Here we go.
I don't think you can I don't think you can have them on the air. You got to let them know that they'd be on the air if you're going to talk to them.
Oh, I'm not going to, it's just, hey, don't blow the weeds there in the bed. This is real life experience.
Well, if they're going to be on the phone, they need to know that they're being recorded.
I mean, you're not going to kill like that, Greg, then we won't do it.
Yeah, you can't do that. They need to know that they're on the air.
Well, who said this is a business here? Yeah, we should poll the guys. You want me to call this client? I'll read the text. Hello, Evan. This is Kelly. Regarding the same issue that I texted you in May in 2024, you were on a good roll and had not been blowing the grass and clippings into our rocks and landscaping until the last 2 weeks. Can you please discuss this issue with your helper and do your best to blow the grass into the lawn instead of to our landscaping and rocks? Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, Aaron said he never call a customer at 9:30, but when they text me at 9:30 and I know them, that's all game. I'll probably just text her back here a little later on. But yeah. Well, that's the one problem. You don't have a shoot blocker, Greg.
Yeah, that's an issue. So I've had to do that.
Aaron's
I
right.
wouldn't even
Yeah.
call a client at 7. That's
Yeah,
my cutoff is 7 o'clock. So I don't.
Yeah, because I put my Google hours on there at 7. People still texting me. It's like, stop.
Yeah. No, I don't take a call before 8 a.m. and or a text before 8 a.m. I'll see it, but I don't respond. And I don't even read it until 8, and then usually it's 8 to 8, but I think 7 is probably better.
Aaron's keeping this nice.
Yeah.
There's Moseri who calls clients back. Most of the time I don't call anyone back. I just shove you the voicemail and then I'll be on the mower. I'm like voice to text and I'll be like, hey, what do you want? No one complains. I'm just kind of just getting your back. I just said, hey, Kelly, I went back over part of your front lawn. I said, my brother, I'd just been say, my brother was mowing with the Bobcat and no shoot blocker, but I told him not to do that. But whatever. It is what it is. Hey, it's grass.
Yeah, it's just a mistake. Oops, sorry. We the mower didn't have a shoot blocker on it and didn't realize we blew into the. And that's what I've told people before. I'm sorry, I didn't realize I blew into that.
Well, it's also tough when you got people that brothers helping. He used to mow with me back in the day, Greg. But we're gonna probably do a podcast on this. It's like situational mowing and awareness, though, too. He doesn't know about. That's why when I mow, I do 3 or 4 passes all the same way in and then stripe things. Because then that way you're not blowing grass on A, the driveway, and B, the beds. Like you just shoot the grass in the middle of the grass away from stuff. Then you can shoot stuff the other way and not blow grass everywhere.
Yeah. I've got a couple of lawns that I hate doing it, but I don't have any choice, but I have to blow the grass onto the driveway because that creates more work for me after I have to blow it.
Give her a free cut. No, they already prepaid. There you go. I'll probably just cut them a little break on the leaves if they ever wanted that done. And we got, okay, Draxo Sand says, shout out my friend Kai Shepard and General Jeff. Big fans. Well, there you go, right?
Oh, yeah.
Free cuts. I I've given a couple of free cuts here or there, but it's usually how it works. If you do something continuous like that, you just cut them a little bit of a break on part of the cleanup or aeration. I had a lady who asked about aeration today. Going to
Yeah.
start to line them up more.
Okay. Yeah, I was going to try and send it on an email to everybody. And you can do it with past clients as well. You know, they may have switched from using you, but not likely you're going to pick up somebody from them. But some of the other clients, they you know, they started mowing themselves or whatever, and you know, I'll still send them an email and say, hey, we're doing aerations. But like that one guy said, I said that I saw that guy saying that you should do it 3 times a year. In my email that I'll send out, I'll say, hey, there's some folks recommend 3 times a year. You know, I would say at least once a year we should probably look at an aeration and see what happens with that.
Well, my client actually said she heard from the This Old House guy that he recommended. What's his name? The guy he was at he did the opening or keynote speaker at the expo last year. The guy from This Old House says that you should aerate 3 times a year.
Yeah, actually, I think that's what it was on. It was a different guy though, but
Oh,
yeah,
was
I
it?
can't remember the guy's name. But yeah, so there's a couple people that are saying 3 times a year. I think 3 times is a lot.
I think it worked. But I think about it though. These lawns are really hard,
Mhm.
and people complain about it. If you aerate 3 times a year and actually water it, I think it'll do more good. I'd almost lobby for even more. You might be able to make some more money. Hey, you do it 3-4 times a year and charge them. I don't know. It didn't take that long to do. I'm just thinking outside the box, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
trying to.
Well, it also helps if they're going to have their lawn aerated and seeded, because we did that. One of my clients, we aerated and seeded. He doesn't water his lawn. Guess what?
There you go.
He wasted his money on the seed.
I don't
So-
know why people do that, or they throw down seed. Aaron, are you going to the keynote? There we go. We got Cameron asking Aaron here something, but at Equip, yeah. I don't know who is going to the expo here? I know that we are, but yeah, people do that, Greg. Like I don't get why they'll pay for fertilization, they'll pay for an overseeding or a seeding, and they don't water it. Just browns right out.
Well, the seed, I mean, it'll take too long for the seed to take. Usually if I'm going to seed somebody's lawn, I'll tell them, look, I'm not going to cut your lawn for 2 weeks now. I'll say, because I'll get the cut, and then right after I do the cut, I'll put the seed down or the aeration, try and do it as close as possible. And then I tell them I'm not going to cut your lawn for 2 weeks because I need the seed to germinate. So I'll be curious what that one lawn looks like this week that I put down 50 pounds of seed on it. So hopefully
You
that'll
are the
take off.
seeder, Greg. This could be an ancillary service that you could really craft and hone into something. I mean, we rave about it every episode. This could be the new drop. Hey, Greg, remember when we did that one seed job? Well, we planted the seed when we did the mulch job.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna start trying to remember which ones we're talking about. Oh, we seeded that and then we mulched that, and I don't remember which one you're talking about.
And then we broke we broke the sprinkler lines. Well, because apparently they put them 2 inches there on the ground for a new neighborhood, and then we both concluded, yeah, we're not going there ever again.
Yeah, we're not. They're still fighting with that sprinkler company too, because I asked him the other day. I said, "What's going on with that?" And he said he's renting. So he said I just turned it over to the owner and said you take care of it. But that's not right what they did. So
I wonder why the sprinkler company would fight them on that. They're like that. You guys
'cause
know
they
when you
wanna go
sprinkler
back out and
guys?
do the job again.
Yeah. Well, if it's just a little section, I mean, sprinklers, they're tough.
More than likely, it's not one section. If they did it in one spot, they did it all over the lawn. So
We could go back. Well, I mean, technically, we only messed up one spot, so where
we might have hit another spot, but I forgot to double check it. So, but technically it wasn't our fault. I even emailed the guy and said, or texted the guy and said, look, I said I forgot to double check one spot, and I think we might have got another spot, but the way the lines were crossing over the yard, um, that's why we hit that spot. But I think all the other ones were perimeter, so that's why we didn't hit them
Yeah.
there.
And you're talking about offering the double aeration for. I mean, if I did that, I'd probably, if you want to do a double aeration, they'd crosshatch it at regular price 80. I'm gonna bump you up to 160. But I think that actually works. I mean, I'm selling people. I've seen it, Greg. You've heard of that liquid aeration? I, there's no way that works. I had a client that did that, and that didn't work at all. The
Is it
lawn
liquid
health did not.
aeration or liquid thatch?
No, it was they had claimed it was like a liquid aeration. I've seen it on YouTube. Apparently it works, but they tried it out on this lawn. They sprayed something down. It didn't work. This lawn like automatically sits wet. It's always moist wet, and even with the lawn that always sits wet too, thatch can develop, and they can just be like a lawn that can't breathe. And that's what I'd almost try to sell them on 3 aerations a year. Be like, hey, you need to help this lawn breathe more. Not even the thatching. Oh, speaking of that, it was a client's neighbor. He did some sort of dethatching in his front yard, Greg, but he scalped it down so much. Apparently, he rented a dethatcher, but he was actually trying to reseed too and kill the grass. You ever heard of that?
Say that again. He was doing.
He rented a dethatcher, but he was like killing his lawn. Like he literally scalped it. Like it was definitely a dethatcher,
Okay.
but he was taking it low. And I talked to my lawn client. I said, what's your neighbor doing? And he said, oh, he's trying to kill his lawn because he wants to reseed it. So he was like killing it off with a dethatcher. Like he really butchered it down. Like it was brown. Like, wow, that's low. Like you see the dirt. Like
Okay.
it wasn't a sod remover. It was a, like actual like dethatcher because it was all, you could see the thatch everywhere.
Well, I suppose you could do that, and but it's going to be a problem, because he's setting himself up for weeds if he doesn't. If he's got to really throw a lot of seed down, if he's trying
that's what I
to
was
if he's
thinking.
trying to really burn that, tear that up like that.
Well, the week before though, it's funny you say that. Like the week before, he sprayed something on it that made the grass look like almost like a dark, like a kind of a greeny blue. It was like the week before he sprayed something all over it, and then the week after he just decided to thatch it like severely. Cameron, we don't believe in sprinklers here. Hey, he's out in the sticks. I mean, they're praying that the lawns don't grow out there. You know, any guys that like have acreage and they irrigate that, that'd be a hefty water bill, wouldn't that be?
Well, if, out there they don't have water. I don't think they get billed for water out there. They're just tapping into the well. So you're in city water, right?
Yeah, it's I watered my lawn a couple times when we moved in, and I stopped. I got the bill, Greg. I'm like, yeah, I'm done. That's it.
Yeah.
No more.
No, we're on a well, so I could water as much as I want to, I guess. So, but over at that Lake Sherwood, I got people they're tapped into the lake. That's where they're getting their water. So, which is kind of funny because
not
now they're
bad.
having problems with people they're fertilizing so much that it's affecting the lake. So they're asking people not to fertilize anymore. And but it's kind of funny if they're tapped into the lake to get their sprinkler system, then technically I guess they could get a lot of fertilizer back on their lawn because it's
Well,
all
they
in the
could,
lake
yeah.
anyway.
Yeah, how do
So,
they do that? It's a system. It must be like a pump system that hooks
Yeah,
up
they
to
got
a
a
part of the
pump.
lake.
hmm
Oh,
Yeah, you just have pumps set up.
I wonder how
and,
much it costs to have that pump just keep running. Probably
Um,
inexpensive.
to keep it running. It would just turn on when they're
No,
gonna.
what I'm saying was how much. I would wonder how much it costs to have the pump run. So it's probably
Oh
like
no,
super
it's
inexpensive.
nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
not-
nothing.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
running a sump pump.
We got
So-
some new watchers on here. I want to say this again because of the stream title. It's time to get away from the lawn business, Greg. I'm getting out of town next week, going to Sunset Beach, North Carolina. Aaron's talked about this on his podcast. I know that Missouri, Cameron Duncan. We got our buddy here.
Missouri.
He took a camping trip last week. Aaron gets away from the area. It's good to get away, reset the old alkaline batteries, right, Greg? I'm like Buzz Lightyear, and mine are
yeah.
starting to die a little bit.
Yeah, it's well, just getting away like I did to go visit my son. That was a nice break. And then well, we got Labor Day coming up in a month. So in about a month, so that'll give us a nice couple days to take a break. And but you're going to have a nice trip over to North Carolina, and see how strong a wind you can stand in.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think we're going down, Greg. It might be windy and a little rainy, but the weather looks like it's shaping up. Yes, Cameron, I'm taking the Segway down. I'm going to maybe try to. I'm gonna take it down. I don't know if I want to do much Segway on the beach because I just don't want to get a much of sand in it. But I see guys take Segways on the beach. We have Aaron going camping this weekend up in Traverse City. That'll be nice. I filmed a wedding or part of a wedding in Traverse City a couple weeks ago. Nice area. If you guys ever get to Michigan, go on up to the UP, Traverse City. I mean, it's something else. Like we have our own version of the sticks, Greg, but you and I are bunkered down. We don't see many sticks. We're in the city.
Yeah, I'm a little further out than you, so I see sticks. S- I see some sticks, but no, if people get up here, they things to see in Michigan, the lakes. We got Lake Michigan, Lake Superior, Lake St. Clair, Lake Huron. I think Lake Erie is. I don't think that one catches on fire anymore. So that was a problem back, I think, in the '60s. So, but I know we got some great lakes up here. Then, if you like history, if you like museums, I think the top tourist attraction in the state is the Henry Ford Really? Museum. Yeah, and that's kind of neat. They have the Abraham Lincoln chair, the chair he was sitting in when he was shot. And then they also have the JFK car that when he was shot. So,
I was trying to find the Pure Michigan jingle here on the soundboard to have Greg kind of narrate over this. I couldn't find it.
yeah, Aaron mentions Pictured Rocks National Lakeshore is another
Oh, it's
spot.
great.
Hiking it, he's hiking it in the end of September. I've never been to Pictured Rocks. I need to get up there.
Pictured Rocks is fantastic.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
take a picture there.
Yeah. I took a couple pictures there, and then I also went on the Pictured Rocks cruise. The grass up there, guys. You get way up north, like okay, southeastern Michigan, the grass grows a lot. Get way up into the UP, 6 hours away. That grass, Greg, you can mow that. Oh, even at my wife's parents' cottage, my in-laws' cottage, the grass up there that doesn't grow, and that's about 3 hours and some change away. It's pretty crazy because it's cooler up there, and the grass is just more tolerant for a cooler climate. Gets hot, just dies right out. Kind of wish we kind of had some of that. I miss having those weeks in August where we didn't do a whole lot of trimming, but we still made good money.
Yeah, I have a friend that I grew up with that they had a place up in Harbor Springs. That's another great place to go to. Harbor Springs is beautiful. But we'd go up there, and they wouldn't be up. They had a cottage up there. They'd go up a month, and hardly had to mow. They really just kind of did it just to do it. So it wouldn't be too long if they waited 2 months to do it. So, but yeah, it was great. It was really nice to be up there and see all the beauty that we have up north. So
That is what the beauty is. Speaking of beauty, Greg, I gotta get to bed. Waking up at 5:30, guys. Get up early so you can get out earlier. It's still a challenge for me. I dawdle around in the morning when the alarm clock goes off. This is what goes on here in my head, Greg. So, anyways, guys, get to bed. We all need our rest.
yeah,
see
thanks
you
for
in the next
joining
one.
us, guys. Appreciate it.
Yep.